Governor Mills visited Skowhegan's spinning mill today to survey flood damage from Monday's storm amid a redevelopment project there.
Grace Bradley reports.
A promising redevelopment of an old Skowhegan yarn mill is abruptly postponed after sustaining about $3 million in storm damage.
Turned it into 41 apartment units on the upper floors, as well as a 20-unit hotel room and a 3,000 square foot restaurant space on the first floor, along with the basement space being like an amenity space.
The hotel and amenity space was slated to debut late this year or early next year. Now, the entire project is expected to be finished in the spring of 2025. Governor Mills surveyed the spinning mill, located on Island Avenue, to assess the damage and see what it means for the Skowhegan community.
This project here, vital to the community, and I'm confident that it will still occur. It may be slowed down a little bit, but we'll do everything we can to help move it forward. And about 33% of the people in Somerset County are still without power. We want to make sure they get power as quickly as possible, stay warm during these colder nights. We want to make sure people get food and water supplies. We've been doing that through the food banks and through MEMA and the Red Cross.
Our goal is to figure out how to help businesses, this one, as well as others across the state that have had significant damage over the course of this storm. There's a lot of rebuilding work to do, and we're evaluating those impacts, working with business owners and community leaders to try to figure out what those supports need to be.
To prepare for future emergency weather events, Mills says the key is climate resiliency.
This also points out to the need for more resiliency planning, and that is what our climate action group, climate change people are doing, and why we've put a lot of federal money behind climate resiliency in many communities across the state of Maine, and continue to do that. Show us the vulnerabilities. Let's be prepared for the next storm. Maine people are strong. We're going to get through this, and this building is still sturdy, still standing, and this project is going to go forward.
Grace Bradley, WABI TV 5 News, Skowhegan.